আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আমি প্রিসিলা বলছি নিউইয়র্ক থেকে। আশা করছি আপনারা সবাই ভালো আছেন। Welcome back to another live stream. আজকে আমাদের লাইভ স্ট্রিমে আছেন একজন very special guest এবং hopefully আপনারা আজকে লাইভ স্ট্রিমটি অনেক এনজয় করবেন। But ওনাকে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করার আগে আমি just a few words বলছি about the bodybuilding profession in general. But আপনারা যারা জয়েন করেছেন, thank you so much for joining. অবশ্যই রিকোয়েস্ট থাকবে আজকে লাইভ স্ট্রিমটি শেয়ার করতে। So I think আমরা অনেকেই appreciate করি না the কি বলবো the act of bodybuilding. এবং I don't think আমরা majority ভাবে inspire করি মানুষকে body build করতে। But I think it's very, very important to realize যে এটা একটা very prestigious profession. I think আমরা সবাই জানি যে if you work hard for something, you can get it. এবং আমরা সবাই জানি very, very popular Arnold Schwarzenegger life story. So I think that is a prime example of bodybuilding, being in the fitness world, it can make your dreams come true. যারা জয়েন করেছেন, thank you very, very much. And আজকে আমাদের গেস্ট হচ্ছেন an international athlete. তিনি হচ্ছেন একজন fitness instructor and the owner of Ruslan Fitness Studio. Ruslan ভাইয়া, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, কেমন আছেন আপনি?
Walaikum salam. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, as I said, I think the fitness and the bodybuilding profession is something that is very admirable. তো আপনি যদি আপনার জার্নিটা শেয়ার করতেন from the beginning to today, as an international athlete, as the owner of one of the top gyms in Bangladesh, এই পজিশনটা কিভাবে রিচ করলেন আপনি?
Well, when I started back in 2005, which means I just joined the gym, right? Because I was really physically unfit and really out of shape. So I really thought I needed to do something the way I appear and also like my lifestyle. Because at that young age, I was just 17, but I was out of it mostly like even getting up on the stairs. So it was really bad overall, the lifestyle, eating habit altogether. So that's what that's the reason why I joined the gym. And I didn't know what to do about what if I want to become a bodybuilder or something. But yes, who doesn't want to have six pack? Because six pack was a trend back in the days. Like anyone you see, there is a concept like everyone wants to have a six pack. Any movie you're watching, they want to have you need to have a six pack. It was something like that was in my mind, but not something like I want to be a bodybuilder or I want to be a fitness coach. I didn't have those things in mind. So when I joined the gym, I was lucky enough to get a good mentor initially, who guided me with basic training and everything. But 3 months after training, I've seen I was not seeing the result that I wanted. One day suddenly I saw him eating different sort of food. Different sort of means like he was eating whole grain roti and some chicken, boiled chicken and stuff. So that triggered me. Maybe the food that we eat, it has to be different. So I started studying about the nutrition part, online, on articles, wherever I could find. And then I figured out nutrition is 70% of what you see. The next 3 months, actually, I completely transformed. From being fat, being in decent shape, even I competed in one of the competitions that was there after 6 months inside the gym. And probably I was fourth in that competition. So that was like a start for me, something that show me a new path, that can be something I can do. That is something I enjoyed doing even in my first competition. So later on, what happened is that after 1 year in the same gym, there was another competition. So I thought, this is my place. I'm working out here every day religiously, nonstop, 6 days a week. So I have to win this competition, you see. So that was something I really wanted. So, and for that, definitely I needed to be really shredded. I need to have proper abs and I needed to have all the symmetry. And I got in good shape. But you see, bodybuilding is something you can't achieve overnight. You can't be Arnold, like in just one day. It takes years of discipline, then you become that. But still, what I could, I like, I tried my best to be a better version of me. But I was struggling among the other competitors in that competition. So like probably I was like among top three, but to win, I had to pull off something extra. And even my trainer counted me off. He thought, okay, he's gonna do good, but probably he's not gonna win it. So he was focusing on the other competitors, and he's helping him out. And I took that also personally, like, what happened, like, he's not like, paying any attention, like, and he's thinking he's counting me out. So I have to win that. So what I did, I really practiced hard, like when it comes to the posing and everything. And when the competition started, my posing was like the best on that night. And that's what made me the champion of that competition on that particular day. So that's what motivated me, like in a way that, like, yeah, I want to go for it. I want to be a bodybuilder, to be honest. I want to pursue that as a sports, not as a profession. It has to be my sports, just like cricket or any other sports. I love doing it. Like, so the next competition, it was in national. It was a national competition. It was back in 2007. That was my first competition, but I really wanted to be conditioned in that a particular game. So my training regime was almost like I was doing. I was like, what do you call that? I had a stationary bike in my house. Probably I was doing 6 to 7 hours of cycling every day, nonstop. Then 2 hours, two shift of like, two sessions of weight training, resistance training in the morning as well as at night. That is what I was doing. Probably I was eating very less amount of food because I thought the lesser I'll eat, I'll be better. So yeah, I was getting shredded, but I was not that big. So my first competition national, I didn't even place in top 10, but I was really conditioned, six pack, everything was there. But in bodybuilding competition, it's not only about being shredded. You need to have some size too. So I learned the hard way. Later on, gradually, I competed till 2011. I did like, some of the results that I did. I was in top five in few competition, third, second, as well as my last competition was back in 2011, the national. I was second runner up. So that was the last competition I did in 2011. But by doing like, by pursuing bodybuilding, I also enjoyed, training people. How it started, some of my friends, they have seen the results in me and they wanted my help actually, in order to change their body as well. So I started working with few of my friends. Definitely I was not charging them, just like, I was training them, like, I was giving them the diet, customizing their diet as well as the training plan. I was spending them hard, and I saw decent results. So it was something like, even if I'm seeing results on other people, I was enjoying. So, that even got me into it. Okay, maybe I can pursue this. I can start, training people. I can start, being a part, like what do you call that? Coaching people, right? So one fine day, I was like brainstorming, like I was thinking what I can do, what can be done with my father. And I asked him if I can use a room in our house, which wasn't like, being used like, for any other reason. So I asked him, can I make a small gym here, like a studio where I can train one-on-one, maybe few clients here and there to start with. He said, okay, you can do it. So I ordered few equipments. It was a nice setup. The interior I did in a very nice way. I've like, bought a treadmill, something, then a power rack. Everything was there, needed to train one person, not more than that. And the journey started. And like I named that Ruslan Studio from that small room because a lot of people ask me, like, why is it called studio? Because it's not supposed to be a gym. But see, it's more like a compact place, a studio kind of setup. So the name stayed from back in 2009, and as the journey started from there. And gradually over the time, it expanded from 800 square feet place to like, gradually went up to 6,500 in Bonani. And then I also have another one in Dhanmondi, like, which is 8,500 square feet. So it went big and gradually I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. I kept on pursuing. From 2011, I said that was my last competition in Bangladesh. I didn't compete after that in Bangladesh because I was really busy setting up my own gym and business because it requires time. Like you need to really focus on your business, like when you do something. Because At the end of the day, I knew bodybuilding is not cheap. You need sponsor, and in Bangladesh, you didn't have a lot of sponsors or opportunities to pursue it as a sport. So why not become your own sponsor? So that's why I really focus on this business. And I went to a spot where I said, okay, it's time I can get back to competition. So it was in 2019. I decided I want to get back to the competition. So it started from Asian Championship in Asia. After that, I went to Philippines where I got a silver medal, and it started. The journey started again. So I'm back to what I love doing. It's not only business. I love it because it's more like a passion. And last year I didn't compete because it was more like a season where I wanted to get big. Before that, I went for Shell Classic. I competed there. I also competed in Thailand in few competitions, and I also have plans to compete in 5 competitions this year. So yeah, so that's how this journey started, and that's how I came here.
It's very, very nice to hear. Thank you so much. Do you mind moving a little bit? I think that's your left. Can you move a little bit to
Okay,
the left?
better,
Thank you so much.
better.
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
So you recently started organizing a bodybuilding competition in Bangladesh. So where did that idea come from?
Actually, I've been part of the bodybuilding shows for last 5 years, being as a sponsor for the
Mm-hmm.
national competitions as well as some of the other competitions being here. But doing so, what happened? Some of the even the last national competition in Bangladesh, I took the initiative to work on the stage as well as kind of the production behind it, uh, because I wanted to make it better, because I want one even like the national games to be better so that I can promote it among all the people, the entire nation, and it should be something like uh, something close to international standard. So I gathered my experience from those competitions, and this time around, there was this competition that's supposed to be inside Keraniganj, right? Inter Keraniganj Championship. And before that, I'm from Keraniganj as well. So our member of parliament, Nosru Ahmed Bipu Bhai, he's like an honorable state minister of what do you call that? আমাদের বিদ্যুৎ and জ্বালানি department ওইখানে মন্ত্রণালয়. So with his help, he knew I was involved in this sort of thing. So he was like giving me the idea, he wanted to host a show in Kiraniganj. So so that's how it started, all the plans and everything. And recently, I've seen all the videos and everything. I guess it was really going everywhere. Promotion for the Mr. Karaniganj Championship. But as I said, it was supposed to be Inter Karaniganj. But I asked him and I requested him. It's gonna be much better if we can add all the competitors from Bangladesh, not just Inter Karaniganj. And he agreed. And it just started from then. It was done under Hamid Sports Academy. So uh, from then, what happened is that uh, the budget and what do you call পুরা show the back issue that I could bring in into this show. It's more like the competition that I went to abroad. It's nothing less than that. So he actually helped me out to go with the vision, and he backed me out whatever I needed, the way I wanted it. And it was amazing, to be honest. Still I'm kind of hangover after the show. Still it just happened yesterday. So I'm just recovering from whatever happened, the journey and everything, and still thinking, but the experience was great.
That's wonderful. Did you face any challenges at all in uh, creating this competition?
Yes, a lot of challenges were there to start with. First of all, asking the players to take part in it, because a lot of players, they didn't know, they didn't even could even think of this competition is going to be that big. They were thinking maybe it's going to be just like any other competitions, and as you know, there hasn't been any competition for last 1 year in Bangladesh
Mm-hmm.
due to some sort of problems that happened in the federation. And Right now, there is no federation. There's a temporary federation that they're doing the work right now. So it was something all the players they needed a competition to play, but still I had to convince them. How could I convince them? Like I wanted big players to play in it as well. I wanted national players to take part, Mr. Bangladesh, ex-Mr. Bangladesh, to take part in this competition. So the prize money had to be big. So we planned like we were going to give the highest amount of prize money ever. So that was kind of that's what he figured, like the players to take part in this competition. But the challenges were, mm, if you say like taking permission from the federation, as there isn't a federation right now like that's active. So I had to go and reach out everyone and get the permission to do a competition. And those were the pretty like basic challenges that I had to go through. Then getting the judges, because we didn't know who to pick, since there was like a question of if the judging is going to be fair. So those are the small challenges that like we came across while doing this competition initially.
That's good to hear. Thank you so much. So how do you think that bodybuilding and fitness in general can benefit the younger generation, especially? Do you think it can, deter them from the negative things that are out there, like alcohol, drugs, like that? What are your opinions?
Well, if you're really into any sort of sports, not just bodybuilding, any other sports, if you play soccer, football, cricket, chances are less. Like you'll go for alcohol, you'll go for other things if you're good at that particular sports. So definitely bodybuilding also helps. If you're really
Mhm.
passionate about it, you see, to do bodybuilding, you need to have a very rigid regime, right? You got to be very disciplined, which means you need to sleep on time. You shouldn't be eating junk food, and like you got to eat frequent meals now and then. So basically, it's more like you everything needs to be by the book and needs to be planned. So chances of you doing drugs, doing um, alcohol is very less, because when you do bodybuilding, you start to love yourself more. So you wouldn't be doing things that's going to harm you. So it's a good thing. Like it's like a good practice. It's a good discipline if you start bodybuilding. So that's how it's going to help the younger generation.
That's great. And do you have any specific programs or special programs that you want to create maybe in the future to specifically encourage the younger generation to come join you guys?
Well, definitely, I don't have plans like that's going to encourage younger people to come in or anyone else, because see, it's not about encouraging. Like it has to be something you need to love the sports first. You need to know what it is like competing, and you need to start enjoying your workout first. Then you think about competitions or taking
Mm-hmm.
part in. And you also need to understand this can be a profession. You can't be a professional bodybuilder in Bangladesh right away. It's not possible. It's not happening, because we don't have a lot of sponsors here due to we don't have supplement industry here. We are not manufacturing it here. So the chances of you getting a sponsor is less. And just like any other athletes, like if you're into Olympic, if you're a professional runner or 100-meter sprinter, you're not going to get paid, right? So something like that. So it can be a profession, but if you want to do it, you got to keep the other things going on as well. That means your education has to be there. You need to study regularly. You need to, if you're a working person, you need to focus on your career as well. Besides that, you need to find time for workout as well. So if that's a scenario, then this is a good profession. You can go for it. But this can be something. This can be a bread and butter. To be honest, not for all of you. Okay, for me, you can say, okay, I have a gym. How am I doing it? See, it's difficult. It's difficult. It takes time. It takes years of patience. Then you can reach a place. It takes time. But for younger generation, yes, like we need people from educated background coming to sports as well to promote the sports. And nowadays we see a lot of trainers and also athletes coming from very decent family background with education background, which is the most important one. You need to be educated in order to promote a sport. So that's actually a good sign, and that's how like when they're coming to these sports, they're actually encouraging other people to come in these sports as well. But there isn't any fixed plan how it's going to promote uh, as in sports altogether, and there isn't a plan yet. But yeah, we should be finding out some plans how we can encourage the younger generation and to start the sports more.
That's good to hear. Thank you very, very much. From everything that you have seen and everything that you've done, is there one moment or one story, one event where you felt like I made it?
Well, uh, the way I am, I'm never happy the way it is. I always want to improve, right? So it's never like I made it. I want to make it, something like that. So it's a never-ending process. It's like
Mhm.
you're hooked to getting better all time. So for me, at times what I say, whatever I've achieved, for me, the challenge is to hold on to it, like, to keep the same consistency, to keep the same standard all the time. That becomes a challenge at times. So for me, if I can do that, if I think what I did 4 years back, I'm still holding on to it and I'm getting better, that's kind of, that's how I think, okay, that's a good achievement for me.
That's nice to hear. Thank you very much. So, how do you see bodybuilding, fitness in general, contributing to the health of Bangladeshis in general?
In general, we all are very lazy, to be honest, in Bangladesh. It doesn't mean we are not hardworking. We can work really hard, but by default, we like to eat, we like to sleep, we like to work less. See, like we always use, we don't walk much when we're going to work. We use a ride, even we'll be using rickshaw or something to go to our work. We hardly walk. So you see, like those things are kind of, when we are kind of lazy, to be honest. So for us, working out is very important because in order to be successful as a nation, we all need to be really fit. We need to be really hardworking, or else it's not possible to excel. Even if hardworking doesn't mean like you got to be an athlete or you need to be a bodybuilder or you need to be in a competitive sports. But even if you think in corporate world, there is a lot of challenges in there, right? You got to be really active. Your brain needs to function well. During the stress time, your heart needs to function well as well, or else you'll not be able to function. So yes, working out and following a healthy diet plan would actually help people from all professions. And that's how you can stay away from diseases. And also, you can excel because everything is becoming really competitive nowadays. In order to excel, there is no alternate to being fit and training regularly and also eating a diet, following a diet.
That's nice to hear. Thank you. And you mentioned wanting to, hold your competitions to an international standard. So, do you have plans to expand the reach of your bodybuilding competitions beyond national borders?
You mean to say, like, if I plan to have competitions abroad, as in host
Mm-hmm.
one well, not host abroad. I have plans, even the competition we did, we have plans next year. We are going to host an international competition where we can invite the international athletes to take part in it and probably offer pro cards in Bangladesh as well. So that's like a long way to go, but still it's possible. It's not impossible. And if we can do that, then it's going to be really good for Bangladeshi bodybuilders because for them to travel abroad is not easy. And you see, whenever you see Bangladeshi passport, it's not easy to get the visas for us. It's always difficult. Like, so for them, a lot of people they don't even have a proper bank account. They can't show proper statements, so it's difficult for them, like to travel because even if they're best athletes, they don't have that luxury to like travel in other competitions and probably pursue for a pro card. But if we can do it in Bangladesh, that's going to open the door for them to go in the next step. They can be a professional athlete. And then you can say, yes, we have made it to becoming a professional bodybuilder.
Thank you very, very much. And last but not least, do you think that bodybuilding and the fitness profession can create more job opportunities for people in Bangladesh that are interested in this profession?
You're talking about in general, like, more people pursuing becoming as a fitness coach and trainers and everything, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, we'll be needing more uh, good quality gym coming up. Like we need them because that's gonna create more job opportunities for the trainers. But there is a small problem because you see like getting the equipments in Bangladesh, the good quality equipments, it's not easy because it's really expensive nowadays to get very good premium equipment. It's like 3 to 4 times more than any other country. So, but for them, a lot of big companies, they really need to invest big on the gym industry. Thus, it will create a lot of opportunities for the trainers and younger lads to come in this profession. And the payment needs to be high too. Because as you know, Bangladesh is a place, it's not that cheap. The living cost is not cheap. It's quite expensive. If you're like, being an athlete, you gotta eat 4 to 5 meals. So it's quite expensive in here as well. So the profession needs to be, the business needs to do good at the first place, the gym, and then it will allow more opportunities for the trainers to come in and get good payments from here. But, but still, if someone is really willing to go big or thinking about making it as a profession, there are
Mm-hmm.
other ways. They can really work on themselves, first of all. They can gather a lot of knowledge. They need to know how to talk first. That's a skill. It's very important when you're communicating, right? The communication has to be good if you want to be a trainer or a coach. So if that part is done, then the knowledge comes in, also the way you appear. So if you can do all this part right, and if you have basic in-depth knowledge about nutrition and how your body works when it comes to kinesiology, then it becomes easy. Then yes, then you can start charging good amount of money from each individual because you're providing the result. It's not you're ripping them off. You can start like what like the trainers abroad are making. They actually make if you go abroad, you'll not find a trainer less than $50. $50 is very cheap. Like even if you're lucky to find a personal trainer then. But in Bangladesh, it's much less. Most of the trainers they charge really less than what I mentioned. So if you're working on your skill, if you can develop those things, and if you become a good trainer, then you'll get good clients. And definitely your PR needs to be good as well. That's a very important part too, in order to successfully get more clients.
Thank you very, very much. And we heard some of your future plans. Do you have any other future plans? Anything else that you would like to do?
I want to go global when it comes to my own brand because I believe, like, I'm a firm believer of my own because I had opportunities to get renowned franchises from abroad to have my own gym, but I always opted out because I always thought I can be small, I can start with small place, but I want my brands to grow. So now I've came to a time like where I think abroad it's a time we can go for it, and that's the near future plan. Like I would really want to get global. I want to make the brand from Bangladesh expand all over.
Well, of course, you have all of our best wishes, so you can do that. Thank you so, so much for your time today. I don't think you realized, but some of the things that you said in the middle of your responses were so inspirational. Like, I'm not a fitness person, but some of the things you said are going to stick with me as I go through life. And I definitely do hope that the viewers caught on to those little things that you said as well. Thank you so, so much for your time. A lot of the viewers were commenting about how much they appreciate you kind of inspiring them to be healthier and to get into fitness. So thank you so, so much. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm really glad and humble, like the comments people make. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so, so much. You take care. Assalamu alaikum.
You too.
অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ আপনারা যারা জয়েন করেছেন এবং যারা এখনো লাইভ স্ট্রিমটি শেয়ার করেননি অবশ্যই রিকোয়েস্ট থাকবে শেয়ার করতে। আর সেই ইসলাম আমি আপনার কমেন্টস দেখছিলাম throughout the live stream. So out loud পড়া হয়নি বাট আমি নিচে নিচে পড়েছিলাম। So thank you so much. Um, MD Joshim, thank you. Rafasan, Ahmed Robin, thank you. Or is it Rafsan? Spelled differently than regular Rafsan. So Rafsan Ahmed Robin, thank you. MD Shaun Parvaj, thank you. Mamunul Islam, good so far. MD Shagor Raj, thank you. Mohammed Alif, hello. MD Shanto, thank you. Haj Mohiuddin blogger, আপনি previous একটা comment করেছিলেন, and I really appreciated that comment, so thank you. Sonia Khatun, hello. Sonia SF, ভালো আছি, আপনি কেমন আছেন? Thank you once again আপনারা যারা join করেছেন, and very soon আপনার সাথে আবার দেখা হবে in another live stream. Until then আপনারা সবাই ভালো